The Life of Ash's Charizard from Pokémon. This Charizard is a fire flying type Pokémon owned by Ash Ketchum. It's Ash's 5th and one of his strongest Pokémon, winning him some of his most difficult battles. Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over the life of Ash's Charizard. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The Amagi's reach stretches beyond just this channel, so if you're a fan of us, please consider subscribing to our other channels and following us on all of our social media. Help us reach our goal of passing 100,000 followers on all of our accounts by the end of the year. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video. As Charmander. Charizard was first introduced as a young Charmander in the episode Charmander the Stray Pokemon. It belonged to a trainer named Damien who had promptly abandoned it, calling it a pathetic and weak Pokemon. Despite this, Charmander's loyalty to Damien still existed to such a degree that it resisted being captured. It sat on a rocky outcrop waiting for Damien to return, not knowing that Damien had long since given up on it. When a storm emerged, Charmander remained outside, clinging to a large leaf for shelter despite the flame on its tail getting dangerously low, probably due to the harshness of the weather taking a toll on its health. To make things worse, a flock of Spearow started attacking it. Thankfully, Ash and his friends arrived, saving Charmander with Pikachu and driving the Spearow away, though Ash and the others got shocked in the process. Ash and company got Charmander to a Pokemon Center and handed it to Nurse Joy for treatment. She later emerged from the examination room with good news. Charmander would pull through. The next morning, though, Charmander had disappeared. A worried Ash theorized that he had gone back to the rock to wait for Damien. Team Rocket soon arrived at the scene, causing more trouble for Ash and the others by capturing Pikachu after Ash and the others fell into a hole. Charmander arrived and, thanks to Meowth translating, ordered James and Jessie to give Pikachu back or else. Team Rocket ignored the threat, ordering Charmander to beat it or else. But Charmander had the last laugh as it released a very powerful flamethrower on them, roasting them and causing Team Rocket to retreat in fright. Damien, having witnessed the scene, returned hoping to get Charmander to rejoin his team as he planned to fulfill his promise and attempt to recapture Charmander. However, Charmander realized that Damien was a selfish trainer who would never care for or respect it, and as such refused, using its tail to send the Pokeball flying back where it hit Damien in the face. Damien attempted to crush Charmander with every Pokemon he owned, but Charmander responded by giving its former trainer a flamethrower. Pikachu joined him with a Thunder Shock. Humiliated, burnt, and shocked to within an inch of his life, Damien ran away, crying for his mommy, literally, while Charmander chose to join Ash's team, and became the newest addition to the young trainer's party. Calling upon it on numerous occasions, Charmander would become one of Ash's most valuable and trusted Pokemon. In the episode after it had been captured, Ash used Charmander's help to get them through a cave. On the St. Anne cruise ship, it joined forces with a group of Charmander to successfully defeat a group of Team Rocket grunts, led by Jessie, James, and Meowth. It helped Ash and his friends after they formed a reluctant alliance with Team Rocket to escape the sunken wreckage of the ship. Once back in the open, it, along with Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Meowth, Ekans, and Coughing, was briefly separated from Ash thanks to a disastrous encounter with a group of Gyarados, and marooned on an island with giant Pokemon. It was eventually revealed to be Giovanni's Pokemon Land theme park, after they accidentally wrecked the park by destroying the robotic giant Pokemon there. The two were reunited along with the other Pokemon. Once the group had arrived in Lavender Town, Ash, hoping to catch a ghost-type Pokemon so that he could beat the Saffron City gym leader, Sabrina, chose Charmander to lead the way through the tower. Unfortunately, a haunter living in the tower paralyzed Charmander by using Lick, forcing Ash to recall it. Charmander's next chance to shine came when Ash chose him to go up against Primeape, who had evolved from a harmless Mankey. After enduring a brutal beating at the Primeape's hands, Charmander learned Rage, which gave it the opportunity to knock Primeape out after unleashing a powerful flamethrower, which finally enabled Ash to capture it. Charmander got the chance to take part in its first ever gym battle when Ash went up against the Celadon City gym leader Erica, where it fought Erica's Weepinbell. It stopped Weepinbell's Razor Leaf with a flamethrower, causing Weepinbell some discomfort as grass-type Pokemon hate the fire. Charmander knocked Weepinbell out with a Skull Bash, giving Ash the win, but Charmander lost after battling Erica's Gloom due to the fact that the stench Gloom gave off was so disgusting that it caused Charmander to hold its nose before fainting in disbelief. Although the battle was suspended due to Team Rocket attacking the gym and setting it on fire, Ash eventually won the Rainbow Badge after saving Gloom's life. Ash used Charmander again in its battle against the Fuchsia City gym leader Koga, with Charmander battling Koga's Venomoth before Team Rocket interrupted the battle. After Team Rocket had blasted off, Koga sent out his Golbat to deal with Charmander. Despite the fight not going in Charmander's favor at the beginning, it was eventually able to beat Koga's Golbat thanks to a combination of Ember and Fire Spin that gave Ash the Soul Badge. Charmander went up against a Golem owned by a biker named Chopper, but Charmander's attacks were so powerful that Golem was even burning, and even after Chopper recalled it, the heat continued to go through the Pokeball. Charmander was chosen to stop a group of rampaging Exeggutor. After it did so, Ash and the team were surprised when it evolved into Charmeleon. As Charmeleon. Unfortunately, Charmander's happy personality and loyalty disappeared upon it evolving into Charmeleon. The reason being that Charmeleon's own skill level outclassed that of Ash's, and as such, it disrespected him. During a practice battle in which Ash sought to help a Paris Cassandra owned evolve into a Parasect, it responded by going against Ash's orders and ruthlessly attacked the Paris, causing it to flee in tears. Ash was about to reprimand Charmeleon, but Charmeleon used a flamethrower on him before turning on Brock and Misty, the former of whom commented that Charmeleon was way out of control. Luckily though, Pikachu intervened and knocked Charmeleon out with a Thunderbolt, enabling Ash to recall it. Charmeleon still ignored Ash's commands until an Aerodactyl had scratched on its forehead to knock him down in the episode Attack of the Prehistoric Pokemon. It orders Aerodactyl to fight, but it refuses while it insulted Charmeleon long enough to cause him to stomp its feet angrily and roars to evolve into a Charizard as everyone sees it evolved, and a close-up of Charizard finally unleashes its flamethrower and wants to have revenge against Aerodactyl for insulting him instead of rescuing Ash from its grasp. It did its best to defeat the Aerodactyl by chasing it, but accidentally used Flamethrower on Ash before Jigglypuff puts them to sleep using Sing, while Charizard rescues Ash before falling into sleep itself. The Beginning Series. In Riddle Me This, Charizard battled Blaine's Rhydon, but because of its disobedience and lack of respect towards Ash, it left the battle and fell asleep, allowing Rhydon to win by default, while Pikachu takes the match to defeat Rhydon. In Volcanic Panic, Charizard still disobeys Ash until it watches a desperate Blaine's Magmar who's throwing rocks to stop the lava from overflowing Blaine's destroyed gym, but the lava destroys it. With that, it helps stop the lava from flowing while being aided by Brock's Onix and Geodude, and Ash's Pikachu while cooling off from Misty's Staryu and Ash's Squirtle. After they stopped the lava from flowing, both Charizard and Magmar are glaring into each other's eyes and wanted to test their strength, which leads them to battle at the top of the volcano. He listened to Ash in this battle against Magmar, as both are equally matched when unleashing their flamethrower. Charizard also managed to block and threw Magmar's powerful Fire Blast away, making Magmar knock him out with Skull Bash. Charizard retaliates in the same way, and both are seen grabbing each other's hands. Magmar manages to grab and throw Charizard into the volcano. However, Charizard survives after getting thrown in as it flies with Magmar into the sky, much to Blaine's horrible shock, allowing Ash to show Charizard its submission in midair to make Magmar dizzy, and throws it with Seismic Toss back into the volcano in an explosion, making Ash win the battle when Magmar finally passed out and collapsed to the ground. When Ash tries to return Charizard to his ball, Charizard scorches him with his flamethrower, finally showing his disobedience to him again while unleashing most of its flamethrower into the sky. He also battled Richie's Charmander and easily crushed it. Unfortunately again, his lack of respect for all other types of Pokemon cost Ash his match against Richie in the Pokemon League, as it refused to battle Richie's Pikachu. Charizard retained its disobedience in the episode Palette Party Panic, where Team Rocket managed to steal Pikachu and escape from the Meowth balloon. After Pidgeotto was hit from Arbok's Poison Sting, Ash releases it to save Pikachu, but it fails and does not listen when it looked down at a bunch of fruits. However, Team Rocket managed to throw bombs throughout Pallet Town until they destroyed the fruits that Charizard wanted to eat, causing the former to get enraged. When Team Rocket continues to throw bombs at Charizard, it retaliates by using its wings to whack the bombs back at Team Rocket, leaving them to scream as the balloon explodes, causing them to blast off again. Charizard continues to get out of control by firing its flamethrower despite Ash's attempts to put it back into its Pokeball, due to having been hit with its flamethrower on his face. It defeated a trainer's Tauros in one hit, only to go on a rampage that was contained by the Elite Four member Lorelei. It also used flamethrower on Ash when it was trying to make a sled to use against Danny. Ash dodged somehow, and the flamethrower made the perfect sled, helping Ash win the round. As he won the round, Charizard embarrassed Ash. In A Way Off Day Off, Charizard has a short rivalry with an elderly Tracy's Scyther. When Team Rocket attempts to steal all of Ash, Misty, and Tracy's Pokemon by putting them to sleep with sleep powder made by James's Victory Bell, Charizard and Scyther are the ones to see their motives of stealing, and both confronted them. After Team Rocket is blasted off by Scyther's Skull Bash, Charizard and Scyther finally set their differences aside and return to their respective territory. A turning point in their relationship came when Ash chose Charizard to battle Tad's Poliwrath. After Charizard's refusal to obey him cost Ash the max and went on another rampage, Charizard was frozen by Poliwrath's Ice Beam, leaving its tail flame on the verge of going out again because of its frozen body. Throughout the night, Ash resolved to keep Charizard warm, rubbing it with his hands to provide heat in the form of friction, which risked rubbing his hands raw. Before the night ended, Ash told his Pokemon that he only wanted to be good enough for it, and reminded Charizard of how they had been together since it was a Charmander, which Charizard recollected as it remembered how Ash saved its life as a Charmander and realizes how badly it treated its trainer after seeing how much Ash deeply cared for it. After seeing his efforts to save it from certain death, Charizard's loyalty to Ash returned in full force. The best part of Charmander's pre-evolved personality was back. It blasted off Team Rocket with its newly learned Dragon Rage and had a rematch with Tad's Poliwrath, winning via its signature move, Seismic Toss. Charizard helped Ash in his battles with Luana and Drake, fighting alongside Pikachu against Luana's Marowak and Alakazam, and narrowly defeating Drake's Electabuzz with Seismic Toss. Charizard then battled Drake's Dragonite. Even with the damage it had taken in its battle with Electabuzz, it held its own against the more experienced pseudo-legendary Pokemon. In the end, their Dragon Rages collided. Although Dragonite was injured by the explosion, Charizard fainted and Dragonite still had enough energy to defeat Ash's Squirtle and Tauros before finally being defeated by Pikachu. Gold and Silver Series. Charizard was used in Ash's first Johto gym battle and defeated Faulkner's Pidgeot with Seismic Toss. Charizard was also used in Ash's trainer battles, easily winning every battle. In Charizard's Burning Ambitions, Charizard is unable to fly properly while being mounted by Ash, which leads them to crash into the forest and running uphill to catch up with the others. When Charizard entered the Charcific Valley, it became surprised horribly to see wild Charizard that are much taller and more powerful than it. Despite Liza's warnings, it immediately challenged one of the many Charizards that were there, only to be humiliated at its constant losses and severe injuries even when it deflects its sneak attacks. Charla, which is Liza's only Pokemon, threw it out into a lake before Liza sealed the doors to the valley, barring Charizard from any chance of regaining entry. Team Rocket respected Charizard as a fellow loser and kept it alive while he was in the lake. Next, Team Rocket attacked the valley, but Charizard defended it, just as they planned. They say some encouraging words and saluted Charizard before he sent them blasting off. Team Rocket's plan was to use that scene to make Charizard look like a hero and get accepted in, and it worked. Ash gave Charizard the option to stay and train if it wished to which Charizard agreed, and it was given an assurance from Ash that he wouldn't be abandoned. Ash didn't want to leave Charizard, but he just wanted what was best and went through with it. In the Spell of the Unknown, after watching footage of Ash running after Entei, who had kidnapped his mother, Charizard left the valley to head straight for Greenfield. It arrived in the nick of time, rescuing Ash and Pikachu, who were just about to fall to their deaths after stumbling off a cliff. Charizard fought Entei and managed to hit it with a fire spin that was strong enough to cause the legendary Pokemon to roar with pain, despite the fact that fire spin would not normally do much damage to a fellow fire type. Although Charizard had grown stronger in the Charcific Valley, displaying the agility and power to dodge and counter many of Entei's attacks, it was no match for Entei and was soon defeated, being pinned to the ground by the neck for Entei to finish off at point-blank range. Fortunately, young Molly Hale ordered Entei to stop just before Entei was about to kill Charizard with Fire Blast. However, in Great Bowls of Fire, it later returned to Ash, revealing that Charizard was now grown similar to the wild Charizard and blows him with a flamethrower as a happy greeting. Charizard became Charla's bodyguard, as stated by Claire, after she tells him about Liza as her childhood friend. Upon arriving at the Burning Dragon Holy Land, which was done by James after he fails to steal the Prayer Flame and slipped on his hands to cause a fire to break out, they confront the rampaging Dragonite who is suffering from an outrage as Charizard angrily glares to fight it. Charizard teams up with Claire's Dragonair to calm the rampaging Dragonite, but to no effect as it dodges and attacks them one after another. When Pikachu tries to assist them, Dragonair summons thunderclouds to unleash thunder on Dragonite before Pikachu uses its own thunder to pin it down. Charizard manages to hit Dragonite with Fire Spin when she attempts to hit it with its Hyper Beam. With both Charizard's Fire Spin and Pikachu's Thunder combination, they knock Dragonite down the lake. After that, it's battled by Claire's Dragonair by evaporating the pool, which has her protection with Flamethrower, and later the entire pool was evaporated to expose Dragonair with Fire Spin. The fight becomes serious and relentless, both on the ground and in midair. It then dodged Iron Tail twice, and won using a unique combination of Fire Spin and Seismic Toss, both of which were used inside Dragonair's Dragon Rage to give them more power. Charizard's victory over Dragonair earned Ash the Rising Badge. It returned to the Charcific Valley for a while before it returned to Ash again for the Johto League. Charizard later returned in the Silver Conference when Gary's Blastoise and Gary's Scizor had cut the team down to just him. It battled and defeated Gary's Scizor and Golem. Gary's Blastoise put up a better fight and maintained an advantage by using Hydro Pump to negate Charizard's aerial advantage. Thinking outside of the box, Charizard used Flamethrower to burn the battlefield, and when Blastoise used Hydro Pump to cool down the burning field, Charizard used the smoke to get in close, ensuring that Blastoise couldn't aim its cannons. Blastoise ducked under Charizard's Dragon Rage and used Bite on its shoulder, but Charizard ignored the pain and smashed Blastoise into the ground with Seismic Toss. Blastoise managed to stand, but after glaring at Charizard for a few moments, it collapsed and fainted. This caused Ash to move to the top 8 and resulted in Gary Oak's elimination from the Johto League. Charizard was then used against Harrison's Blaziken in the quarterfinals. Charizard had never battled a Blaziken before, and Ash had only encountered the Pokemon once when Harrison used it to catch his Sneasel. Therefore, both Charizard and his trainer were caught off guard by Blaziken's speed and power. Even Charizard's Seismic Toss wasn't enough to defeat Blaziken, though it did cripple him badly, but when Charizard attempted to use another one, it was caught off guard by Blaziken's Blaze Kick. Blaziken tried to finish Charizard with Flamethrower, and Charizard countered with Dragon Rage, resulting in an explosion which caused both Pokemon to collapse. Charizard and Blaziken managed to stand up, but when Ash ordered Charizard to use another Flamethrower, the pain from Charizard's injuries overwhelmed it and it fainted. However, Charizard injured Blaziken badly enough to prevent Harrison from using it in the next round, which caused Harrison to lose his next battle. Ruby and Sapphire series. In There's No Place Like Hoenn, Charizard's battle against Harrison's Blaziken was seen in a flashback when Max watches the actual footage of the Silver Conference during the battle between Ash and Harrison in the quarterfinals, while he keeps mocking Ash for losing the second round of the competition. It appeared in the episode The Symbol Life, where Ash used Charizard to battle with Nolan's Articuno. Despite its type advantage, Articuno had the upper hand throughout most of the battle, recovering from Flamethrower and Dragon Breath remarkably quickly, and dodging all of Charizard's other attacks. It also revealed that it would use Water Pulse to counter its weakness to fire types, and froze one of Charizard's wings with Ice Beam. Charizard used Overheat to melt the ice on its wing, allowing it to regain full mobility, but Articuno still managed to land a Steel Wing, which very nearly defeated the exhausted Charizard. However, when Articuno attempted to finish Charizard with another Steel Wing, Charizard grabbed both wings and hurled Articuno to the ground with Seismic Toss, almost knocking itself out in the process. Articuno managed to get up, and the referee was about to announce that it had won, but Noland told him to wait until he was sure the battle was over. Articuno fainted as Charizard got to his feet. Charizard was the first non-legendary Pokemon in the anime to have defeated a legendary Pokemon, and won Ash the Knowledge symbol before he returned to the Charcific Valley. As of then, Charizard's power rivals that of legendary and Elite Four Pokemon. Charizard was reunited with Ash in Gathering the Gang of Four, as it happily blows Ash and his Pikachu with its usual Flamethrower as a happy greeting. During Ash's training camp, Charizard also shows its mischievous side when it slams itself through their resting ground, making Squirtle get angry. Charizard also dodges both Squirtle and Bulbasaur's attacks, but accidentally hit Pikachu with its Razor Leaf, causing him to electrocute him with Thunderbolt despite Ash's pleas not to fight. As they made a campfire at night, Ash also reminisces about Charizard back when he was abandoned as a Charmander and his disobedience from his evolutionary stages. Charizard also displays his Steel Wing ability as it managed to get all of the berries for them to eat, and its training with Ash, Pikachu, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. When Pikachu was captured by Team Rocket, Charizard was mounted by Ash, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle to chase the Steel Meowth balloon. Both Charizard and Squirtle's attacks do not work at first, but for the second time it manages to crack the balloon, allowing Bulbasaur to destroy it with Razor Leaf. Team Rocket is eventually blasted off by Pikachu's Thunderbolt, Squirtle's Water Gun, and Bulbasaur's Razor Leaf, and Charizard's Flamethrower too. Charizard is the only Pokemon to sense Pyramid King Brandon's presence. In the Battle Pyramid, during Ash's second rematch with Brandon, Charizard was present, where it battled Brandon's Dusclops. Dusclops proved to be Charizard's equal, countering Flamethrower with its Will-O-Wisp and using Mean Look after being hit by Dragon Breath. When Charizard used its newly learned Steel Wing, Dusclops grabbed onto one of the wings and used Confuse Ray. Ash was unable to recall Charizard because of Mean Look, allowing Dusclops to hit Charizard with Shadow Punch and Will-O-Wisp. Charizard snapped out of its confusion with some encouragement from Ash and hit Dusclops with a powerful Dragon Breath. Dusclops struck back with Will-O-Wisp, but by that time both Pokemon had become tired. Ash ordered Charizard to inflict what would have been the finishing blow if Dusclops hadn't been a Ghost type. But it turned out that ordering Charizard to use Seismic Toss was a huge mistake. Due to Dusclops' immunity to fighting type attacks, the Ghost type escaped from Charizard's grasp and smashed it with a final devastating Shadow Punch. However, Ash still managed to win the Brave symbol with his 3 remaining Pokemon, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Pikachu, and Charizard then returned to the Charisific Valley. However, it apparently left the valley and took up residence at Professor Oak's lab with many of Ash's other Pokemon. Black and White series. In The Fires of a Red Hot Reunion, Ash is at a Kanto festival and remembers his Charizard and all the good times they had together. He goes to Professor Oak and exchanges his Unpheasant for his Charizard. When he was released by Ash to show it to Silent, Iris, and N, he and Pikachu are happy to see him, and Charizard gave him the usual Flamethrower greeting after Ash introduces his new friends. While being introduced to all of Ash and Iris's Pokemon, it develops a fierce rivalry with Iris's Dragonite, which leads the two to battle. Iris is confident in her Dragonite, but does not know how outmatched she was. Charizard was able to overpower Dragonite's super effective Thunder Punch with Wing Attack, but after Dragonite hit Charizard with Dragon Rush to repel its Slash Attack, Iris thought she'd won. Iris's hopes were quickly crushed when Charizard emerged unscathed from the attack and roared loudly. Dragonite, now knowing what it was going up against, retreated into the sky, but Charizard easily caught up and hit Dragonite with a super effective Dragon Tail, dealing serious damage. However, the battle was called off by N because Dragonite was injured from the fall. Both Charizard and Dragonite gained their mutual respect for each other after such a fierce battle. Iris was surprised that Dragon Rush didn't knock Charizard out because she believed that it was super effective. Ash corrects Iris, though she does not believe him until Ash's Pokédex clearly stated that Charizard is a fire flying type and not a dragon type as she had assumed. Afterward, Ash decided that he wanted Charizard to return to his party and to get him back on the grid, which Charizard gladly accepted. In Team Plasma's Pokemon Manipulation, Charizard was used to battle Dragonite again, who is now being controlled by Colress. While Charizard was more than a match for Dragonite under the control of an inexperienced Iris, Colress's machine enhances the power of Pokemon, which makes it a much harder battle. Charizard's Slash scores a hit, and Charizard quickly dodged the upcoming Ice Beam. Flamethrower is blocked by a powered-up Thunder Punch, but Dragonite takes a small amount of damage despite the enhanced power. Dragonite's enhanced speed allowed it to dodge Charizard's Dragon Tail, but the battle ended when Colress's machine is destroyed. In Meowth, Colress, and Team Rivalry, Charizard is used to help Pignite, who has something blocking his nostrils. Charizard, however, simply throws Pignite with a giant swing, which does not work. Pignite was saddened by his condition until Iris picks a single leaf to make him sneeze out the seed shells from Sylan's Pansage's Bullet Seed, meaning Sylan had caused the accident. When Ash asks both Charizard and Pikachu about Pignite's Flamethrower, which both of them agreed on, and Charizard blows him with his own Flamethrower on the face. Charizard and Pignite are seen blowing their flamethrowers, and Charizard's flamethrower is much stronger than Pignite's. In Team Plasma and the Awakening Ceremony, Ash uses Charizard, Crocodile, and Oshawott to get himself and N out of the bottom of a pit. It used a spinning Dragon Tail to break through the ground, while Oshawott used Hydro Pump to soften it, allowing Crocodile to dig out. He was used to battle Team Plasma, where he easily withstood several attacks, and with Pignite launched a devastating double flamethrower. However, Ash had to recall all of his Pokemon, including Charizard, once Colress turned his mind control device on them. In Pirates of Decolor, Charizard was also used to look for some pirate Pokemon. In a Pokemon of a different color, Charizard becomes a peacemaker between Claire and Iris's Dragonite, who he fails to stop from arguing, which results in him being attacked by them. This makes Ash return him back to the ball. In Team Rocket's Shocking Recruit, Charizard teams up with Snivy and Iris's Dragonite to find Iris's Emolga and Axew after revealing the misunderstanding between Iris and Emolga. Both Emolga and Axew are caught in the box, while Ash's Pikachu got caught in the net set by Team Rocket. Both Charizard and Dragonite hit the box with Wing Attack and Dragon Rush, but it was ineffective until Snivy beats both of Team Rocket's Pokemon with her Vine Whip and Leaf Storm, and also breaks the net to free Pikachu using Leaf Blade. After Dragonite breaks the box with Dragon Rush to get both Emolga and Axew free, they're chased by the Wild Exploud until Charizard and Dragonite knock it out and blast the Meowth balloon into an explosion with Dragon Tail and Dragon Rush combined. But the Wild Exploud separately blasts Team Rocket off with its Thunder Punch. After a long journey through the Decolor Islands, Charizard returned to Professor Oak's lab in The Dream Continues, where he was released along with Pignite, Oshawott, Snivy, and Scraggy by Ash after Ash's Bulbasaur happily releases its Solar Beam to give all of Ash's Unova Pokemon's attention in a multicolor of sparkles to meet them. Charizard, along with Pikachu and all of Ash's Unova Pokemon, are used to give them all a chance to blast Team Rocket off into the sky with their powerful abilities to destroy their improvised balloon. Charizard and the others are happy that they defeated Team Rocket, apparently for good. Journeys series. In Advice to Go, according to Professor Oak, it's revealed that Charizard, along with Ash's Quilava, Ash's Pignite, and Ash's Talonflame, were sparring with Ash's Infernape, who prepared to battle against a wild Moltres in a valley. He and Ash's Bulbasaur happily reunited with Ash before the rest of his Pokemon arrived to see him for a reunion. After Moltres' defeat by both Ash's Pikachu and Gary's Electivire to rescue Go's Cinderace and get one of its feathers, Charizard was present along with Bulbasaur, Quilava, Pignite, and Talonflame, where Infernape apologized to them for its behavior, which they accepted. Did you enjoy our video? Be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.